start where we are today. So until the start of this year, I was the Deputy Chief Executive at RenewableUK, the trade body. I've been there 7 years and done different roles, always as the CEO, but covered different functions of the organisation. When I left, I wrote a blog about it, and I wrote how, when you look back upon your career, you suddenly realise how you thought you used to be a young Turk, and then all of a sudden you realise you're a greybeard, and how I transitioned. And I've been involved in the industry in different ways. I've come in and out of offshore wind for 20 years. So I was around during round one. I started my work in the industry before round one. The first offshore wind farms had been built. And I was early in my career, and I was working in Bower and Furness. And indeed, I grew up on South Humberside, so where a lot of the activity offshore wind is now. So I kind of feel it's sort of tracking me in some way. And I was working in Bower and Furness for an energy project that the Council and the European Union were funding. And we started on energy efficiency, and then we moved into energy advice and education, and we did business advice, and then people started to talk about offshore wind as a thing that was coming. It was a discussion. And I kind of took a punt on it and said, I think there'll be offshore wind in Morecambe Bay area. And so I started to talk about it, started to try and find out about it, went and talked to the British Wind Energy Association, talked to local businesses, talked to a guy called Jeremy Sainsbury, who many in the industry know. He's a director of natural power, but he'd at the time built a project in the Solway Firth. And then through that, just got it sort of fell into offshore wind. And I remember my standing in front of a meeting on environmental opportunities in the town hall in Bower and Furness, in front of a group about 200 people, and I had a short slot to talk about renewables and my work. And it was the day before the round one leasing project, and all the bids were announced. And I said confidently, there will be a wind farm off the coast of Barrow. And the day after it was announced, and there was a wind farm called Barrow proposed, and everyone thought I had some kind of inside track knowledge or was some kind of genius. And then that was it. Off I went. So I was organising trips for councillors and business people to go up to Blythe, to the first sites where there were 2 wind farms, 2 wind turbines off the coast, about half a mile offshore. I remember going out on these little boats thinking, why would you build a wind farm out here? Going up and down in these small catchment runs. And then from there, I went to Scottish Renewables, and I was appointed as essentially the first member of staff for Scottish Renewables. So I was its business development manager, but I was it. I did everything from, send out all the emails and do the accounts to meeting with all the CEOs of these companies. And I grew that organisation, took on more staff. From there, went into government. From there, went into consult, got laid off when change of governments come in and they change their priorities, and all of a sudden they don't need you. And then from there, I ended up at RenewableUK. And then 7 years there, and now here I am. So I feel that my career has tracked the growth of renewables. When I started, renewables was 2% of GB electricity. Modest, no one thought it would go anywhere. And now the conversations around offshore wind alone providing all the electricity for all the householders in Britain. Mm-hmm. We have changed our scale of our opportunity and our scale of ambition. And it's great to helped make that happen, and I've just been part of that. And also to think there's still so much more we have to do. For the last part of my career, next part of my career, well, I've got to do as much again as I've already achieved.